think Superman probably thinks that Lois likes Superman better.
I guess it depends on who you think is the real Clark and the real Superman. Who doesn't want to get flown around by a strapping, tall gentleman in leather?
Hi, I'm David Corenswet. I play Superman and Clark Kent.
Hi, I'm Rachel Brosnahan. I play Lois Lane, and this is my side of the story.
We met in a haze of jet lag.
I had flown in very early that morning and had kind of a travel curse delay, lots of running back and forth through JFK.
I knew of Rachel's work very well, and we met in sort of a flurry of handshakes and hellos and an explanation that Rachel had just flown in from her show that she was doing on Broadway.
We said a quick hello, and he was, I think, very nice and very tall, and we read the scene together.
We did this very long scene. It's like a 10, 12-page scene that appears in the movie, essentially, as it was. And neither of us quite knew what we were doing. We had each done the scene with other people, so we weren't sure if the blocking was going to be the same or whether we were going to figure something else out between the two of us. So I think we both thought it was a sort of a warm-up and we would get another shot. And then James yelled cut and said, "Great, that was awesome. All right, Rachel, I think you're getting on a plane."
So honestly, the whole thing is kind of a blur.
I just remember Rachel being very focused, which was impressive considering that she had had no sleep.
Honestly, don't remember anything about it. And then we said goodbye, and that was it.
The next thing that happened was we found out that we were cast.
We didn't know each other at all, really, and we'd had this brief but obviously impactful moment together during our chemistry read, and but I think we both left feeling like we didn't remember anything about it and wanted to spend some time together. We had a really lovely breakfast after we found out we were going to be playing the roles together in New York and got to know each other that way.
We just kind of got to know each other and talked about all kinds of things.
We talked about our lives and got to know each other a little bit, our families, and kind of what we're into, I guess.
But then in the lead up to production, we got together a bunch of times.
We spent some time talking to James about the roles and how he saw this version of Lois and Clark or Lois and Superman. We shot a 10-page scene together, and we shot it over the course of 2 days. It was such a great way to drop into these characters and drop into their world.
It was almost like filming a romantic comedy from like the 1940s.
It felt like doing theater.
It was sort of like doing a play.
It felt like we got to play together for 2 days.
Which was a lot of fun for both of us.
I feel like David was full of surprises.
I give her great credit for it's not easy to surprise your scene partner.
It was fun to watch him work. He's a really fearless actor. I think he was playing with the different sides of this character all the time.
She made me curse at her.
Well,
the way she delivered one particular line made me sort of involuntarily say, "Oh, you," which I think was a shock to all of us. She got me. She caught me off guard and made me feel really hurt in that moment, and so I, in character, but shot back at her.
There's a moment where Superman is a little worse for wear, shall we say, and there's a moment of connection between him and Lois that's really charged and really powerful and kind of moving. And then there was one take where David, just his expression of how injured he was so funny. I think about that face he made in that moment all the time. So good.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about it.
Definitely me, for sure.
I don't quite know how to answer that. She's a very well-trained, well-disciplined actress.
Thank you.
I have no idea who would be better. I'm not sure you can grade a kiss. I don't know. That's probably all I've got there.
Definitely David, hands down.
I think we kind of matched each other pretty well when it came to that kind of stuff. We both had a lot of questions for James and wanted to reference these materials that he had pointed us to or that we had found on our own.
Like, David's a huge fantasy nerd and has always loved these spaces, and so playing a role like Superman is a dream for him. He would win hands down in a in a game of trivia or whatever, but yeah, definitely David.
We all kind of dove in together and educated each other, which is the best way to do it, in my opinion, because then at least you're all working from the same point of reference.
I'm dying to know what he said about me.
I should come up with something. I should have a story. I should remember a story.
Oh my God.
Rachel, you're a very funny person.
What I think is so special about David, it's not just a role to him, it's such an embodiment of so many parts of who he is.
Her incisiveness and her presence, is that you really feel like she's taking all of you in. The most confident and grounded is when I'm less worried about me than I am about taking care of my scene partner. And Rachel's very much the same way. That's what's great about her.
I can't wait for people to see him in this role, but also to experience that side of him off screen too.